Hey guys, welcome to Soulfully Illumined. In this video, we are going over the energies for this new moon in Taurus. It's been super intense, right? Like super intense. And when I pull the cards for the collective, sorry about that noise. There's construction happening outside the building and it's pretty loud. But what was I saying? So there's been, yes, it's been intense. And the energies are just like these whirlwinds. And it's actually this card, when it came out, I laughed because I'm like, yeah, we're pretty much experiencing this right now. It says, what does it say? It says change and wind. And what I'm feeling is, yes, there is definitely a change in the wind. So you may feel like life around you is pretty chaotic or busy. There's a lot happening. And as we enter into, like, there has been a lot like planetary stuff going on, but energetically, there's been a lot of upheaval, clarifying, releasing, observations happening. But I don't have to tell you that. So let's move on into this new moon in Taurus. And I'm feeling like there's a bit of a release, a little bit of a break, because we have Mercury that's now going direct, which is really helpful. We have Jupiter that has entered into Taurus, which is also very helpful. And opening up some doors for us is what I'm getting. And so here, as I'm looking at the cards, with the ignition and fire as the bottom of the deck energy, what I'm getting here is we're moving into, we've started already this new beginning as we're releasing more, as we're letting go of more stuff. The door or the vision or our reality is opening up more and more. So our perspective, our landscape, I should say, is really opening up. So you may find that there's a lot of opportunities or just different opportunities that you've never thought about may be presenting itself. It's because you've shifted. And so this Taurian energy for this new moon is really asking you, what nurtures you? What creates greater groundedness within you in the choices that you have on a day-to-day basis? What ignites the fire within you? What makes you feel alive and lights you up? You will be presented with options at this time as we continue through the winds of change. You may feel bombarded. You may feel like you're going through a lot. But the key here, because again, it's always about harmony and balance. So if you feel like everything's moving fast, slow down within and get into that stillness within. Because the choices that you have will become clear. The decisions will become clear. So now, one of the other themes with this is, with the Taurian energy, that's waffles eating. Again, how do you nurture yourself? How do you fill yourself up? How do you take care of you? And I'm getting the word beauty. What is beautiful to you? And that goes internally within you as well as externally. Where is the beauty around you? Can you see it? Can you savor it? Can you enjoy it? Can you appreciate it within yourself? And the shadow aspect of that is, where do you need to? Where have you been really hard on yourself and hard on the world around you? And really coming back to being grounded and being more in that heart center. The other word that's coming out, excuse me, which is a theme as well, is really moving forth in this new chapter, being accountable for your choices and your actions. Your body will tell you. Your body will be speaking truth to you. You know, the body is a representation of the mind and the emotions, what's going on within. So if it starts talking, you start feeling pain in certain areas, then it's your body telling you, hey, pay attention. There's something up within you that's happening. You know, and so that aspect of self will be popping up to remind you that accountability is key and your choices are powerful. You have the ability to choose. You have the ability to direct your life in the way that you choose in this reality. With the 3 and the 4, because I'm being drawn to the 34 on the silence card, and it's really coming forth as groundedness and the ability to create in this world in a way that serves you. And the energies are really going to be supporting you and being grounded in the present moment, being able to be in a space of allowing that creativity to flow. And on the contrary, where perhaps the noise around you, the chaos around you, the stuff around you is preventing you from doing so. Notice the signs around you. And yes, can you hear that siren in the background? And waffles. It's it's a time of nurturing ourselves. We've done a lot of work. For a lot of us, we've been shifting for a lot of years. And so it's time now to really come back to you. And this Taurian energy is really going to support that and help us to move forward. Because as we enter this summer, my friends, it's going to get, I want to say fun, but I also feel like it's going to be a little intense as well. As things are shifting, we're being asked to just move with it, to flow with it, to go with it. And one shadow element that's popping up with the Taurus is the stubbornness, the need to maybe do things their own way. But maybe the mind is limited. And maybe spirit has a better way of doing things. Your heart has a better way of doing things. So, will you then surrender? Will you then let go of that mind, watch and follow that flow, and let it take you to where you want to go in a way that really truly ignites that fire within and lights up that soul? Interesting times ahead, my friend, but we are going into greater and greater balance and more soulful expression in the world. Take time for silence, take time for being in nature, because I really feel like Gaia is really wanting to connect with the people. and really light us up. Anyway, so we're going to go into the pick a card pile. I did not pull your pick a cards as of yet, but if you go down below, you're going to see pile 1 and a timestamp, pile 2 and a timestamp, and pile 3. So go ahead, scroll down below, pick a pile, and I will see you at your pile. Take care. Hey there, pile 1. Welcome. If you, well, I didn't pull a crystal today, but if you picked pile 1, this reading is for you for this new moon. This new moon in Taurus. Let's see how the energies are impacting you. So for pile 1, please, Spirit, how are the energies impacting them for this new moon in Taurus? Body, mind, and spirit. All right, so pile 1, let me get a little bit more comfortable here. Okay, so for pile 1, what I'm feeling for you is that you may have some time off during, it's interesting because it's like your bottom of the deck, is so bright, and then your card is so dark here. So I feel like you may be going from one extreme to another during this new moon, okay, to the full moon. And I feel like it'll just be like amplifying into that full moon. And the way that I'm seeing it is that there may be opportunities that you really want that may not be presenting itself. It's okay, because what I'm getting is with that time of lull, so to speak, it's like use that opportunity to be creative. Use that open space, that time out, that free time to just do different things, to just play, because it feels like what's coming through for you is a new creative gift, a new creative talent that you have not foreseen. It's within you. And so it's kind of like use that lull to just flow, to be with spirit, to go out in nature, because it's like you're going through this, you're spreading your wings in a way that you haven't yet. I want to say transformation, but we're always in this transformative period, like we're constantly evolving. And so with you, it's like you're spreading your wings in a way that you have not done before. But it's hard when you're super busy with a bunch of different things and you want to go this way and you want to do this and you want to do that. But it's like the spaces, it's like that time, if that time isn't there, if those opportunities aren't presenting itself, it's because there's something else. There's another opportunity waiting for you. And there's an opportunity waiting for you. And I'm going back, if you didn't watch the collective, you may want to, part of this reading where I spoke about the silence. It's through that silence, that time alone, or that quiet space where you're going to get, I'm getting also downloads, information, spiritual direction. Like you may feel like this desire to go somewhere, to do something. It's because it'll provide you with a piece of information necessary for your next steps. You may feel stretched physically at this point, or you may feel the need to stretch. And I'm talking about the physical vessel, or it could also be mental as well. So you may be drawn to different directions that you've not gone before. And the purpose of stretching you out, or perhaps doing things that are beyond your comfort zone, is to bring you back into balance. Because it's almost like you've been too rigid or been in a box for too long. And it's like you need to step out of that box. This new moon is going to really help you with that. You may feel a little restricted into that full moon, pile one, but that movement's going to help. And you may want to go back into the mind and ask you why you're being rigid. Because it has to do with the mental body and your thought process. But that's shifting. I'm being drawn to her hands in reverse. You may want to journal during this time, or you may feel inclined to use your hands at this point. But also, there's a lot of energy that's coming through you, pile one. So you may feel like a little sore in the body, tired in the body. You're shifting. There's an internal shift that's happening. And that's going to help you to move in a different way in the world. Okay? Allow it to happen. There's a surrender that's necessary for you at this point in your journey, pile one. And it's a good thing because it's just opening you up to greater heights and things that are really going to make you happy, really going to light you up. It's also affecting how you're seeing the world, pile one, because it's like there's been some negativity within you. There's been like some pessimism within you. And you know what? It's okay. It's, you know, life can be really hard. But it's like spirit, your guides are trying to show you that there's just so much more waiting for you out there. And it's like it's time to kind of look up and look around you. But in order to do that, sometimes you have to just spend that time alone and just go within, or just be more connected to yourself and nurture yourself. But the energies coming in are really helping you to just give you that nourishment. And so when you're in that time of that quiet, they're asking you to connect with them and even maybe do some stargazing, or what I like to call star feeling, because I'm more sensitive, like I'm more of a feeler. And that's kind of looking up to the stars and just feeling them. You know, they all have a specific coding or energy, and there's something about feeling into them that may just open up some locks or boundaries around your heart. But the energies are really creating, it's going to enliven you. It's really going to enliven you and really stimulate some things in your life. And I feel like it's more internal for you, maybe because I'm going through those cards right now of like those, how the energies are impacting you internally. But it's like, it's really going to light that fire within. So if you've been missing or lacking some of that internal mojo, it's going to be activated once this new moon really starts going. So let's go into, we're going to see how that looks in your physical reality. So for pile one, please spirit, what does this look like? This new moon in Taurus, how is this impacting them in their physical reality? What should they expect in their physical reality? Thank you. Community, interesting. Okay. Okay. So we're going to take those here. We have community here. Storm warning in reverse, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel, and contracts. All right, so there's some balancing out happening in your physical world. And with the community, I really feel like it has to do with the relationships that you have and how you've been looking at your relationships with the 7 spiritual growth number. It's like your idea of community is shifting, or has maybe shifted, and a result, like it's like you've been going through this transformation of how you see the world, how you see your relationships. And as a result of this transformation, it's creating greater balance in your relationships. Letting go of karmic contracts, contracts that no longer serve you and help with your internal balance. You're moving into this time now where you're able to really pick and choose those things that bring you balance. You've gained a lot of the wisdom that you've needed through your past experiences, and now moving into a time where you're following more of your instincts. You're quite wise, Pile 1. You know what you're doing. You have a firm foundation, more stability within yourself. And now it's been time for this change where you are clearing out the old. Allow this to happen, Pile 1, because you've done the work energetically and within yourself. And notice with the books, it's like it's time to put that book down and let your energy, let spirit do all the work. Because I know it's a lonely path, and it has been a lonely path, Pile 1, but you're not here to just be like any others. And I know I've said this before in past readings, and maybe I'm talking to the same people, but as I'm looking at these cards, that's what I'm seeing, is that you're unlike any others. We're all individuals, but yet we're all one. It's just that, is dichotomy the right word? I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is that it's now time for you to enter into this world as you, enter into these communities as you, and finding that balance of, number one, what people serve you, where you're feeling that harmony, what's filling you up, and creating internal stability and balance, and what is not. And for some of you, is just entering these communities as your divine self. Letting go of the garbage of the past and just moving forward and being in these communities as you, unapologetically. You no longer need to carry the stress of the past that has been transmuted. Now you're at this point of being lifted up, where you can really stretch out those wings and really be the earth angel that you came to be. So, in this physical reality, you may experience some, there may still be some things swirling around you, like as far as like things happening in your physical reality, some shifts happening, and it's creating greater structure, foundation, stability in your physical reality. Know this, that it may be in your world, but it's a little distant from it, meaning that it can't touch you, meaning that you are safe. And this is just the energies working around you to just stabilize your field, stabilize your reality, and so forth. Take it step by step, Pile 1, because there may be moments where you'll have those opportunities where, you know, friends will be like, hey, come on, let's hang out today. And really feel into yourself to see what's going to give you balance at that moment. You may need moments of hanging out by yourself and just being in the stillness, and moments where, you know what, community is fantastic. But they're asking you not to isolate yourself and really ask the question, what nourishes you in this moment? There's going to be a lot of psychic insight that comes through to you at this time, Pile 1, and I feel like some of it's going to be like, oh wow, like they're going to be like surprises. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that, and it's going to really uplift you. It's going to really expand your mind. This is a really interesting time for you. The key is not to get sucked into the fear. I feel like the key is always not to get sucked into the fear, but that's just really coming through. And to really just be in that state of loving detachment. Very nice. So we're going to end this reading with crush your goals and see what final messages Spirit wants to give to you. So for pile 1, please, Spirit. Thank you. We want one more. The only way to get things done is to start to do it. Then keep on doing it, and finally you're finished. This is by Langston Hughes, The Big C. If you want to take a screenshot, here you go. And I feel like that's coming back to what I was saying down here about this apprehension of, you know, hanging out with people and really just spreading your wings. Now's the time. Now's the time. And it may just be one step at a time, but you know what? No one well, Agar totally did, but no one really wakes up the next day successful. Usually they take the steps necessary to, the little steps. It's about the little steps. It's the slow and steady. And so it comes down to, you may not feel you're ready. You may not think you're ready. But if it's in front of you, you're ready. You know what I mean? If the opportunity's there, you're a match to that energy. You're ready. And not only that, it's who needs to be perfect? You are your own authentic self in your own way. Own it. Dance in it. Be in it. You know, it's okay. Unapologetically you. Next card. Please think of the things in your life that you're proud of, that fulfills you, that makes you happy, and write them down somewhere and look at that list every time you feel that you are failing. Oh, I love that. As I said before, there's a bit of pessimism, right? And I feel like you're really hard on yourself as well, pile 1. And sometimes when you write that list, and even I'm getting a list of everything you've fulfilled in your life already. The small things, the big things, you write that list down and you look back at it and you realize, holy crap, I did a lot. I think that may be important for you. So when you have that downtime, you may want to see that, because I think you'll realize, you may want to do that because you may realize how talented and how amazing you are. And I think that's going to light you up and give you some fire to move forward. But really also, more importantly, really appreciate how far you've come and how incredible you are. Because there's so much more for you to experience. And I think sometimes we have to recognize the past and what we've done, what we've accomplished, and just the amazing being that we are. And that helps us to move forward, you know? All right, pile 1, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I look at the screen, I realized that I did it all the way on this side over here. So we may be veering more to the right side of life, more of that masculine, the more of the doer. And I feel like we need to come back to the left side, the divine feminine, of the nurturing of the being. And so that might be something for you, pile 1, where you have to get back to being your own best friend and remembering that you didn't come here to suffer, meaning come into this life to suffer. You came into this life to rock it. As I look at this card, you came to be you and do your thing. All right, pile 1. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the reading, do give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love to have you. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hey there, Pal 2. Welcome. So we're going to go right into your reading. Let's see how the energies of this new moon in Taurus is affecting you. For Pal 2, please, Spirit. All right, so Pile 2, for you, I feel like this is a time of, I get enlightenment. It's going to be, yes, a very empowering time. You got forgiveness. And I feel like, first of all, some things are going to become very clear to you. Should I go? Sorry, let's stop. Let's go into energies first because I just jumped the gun there. Well, you know what? Forget it. Let's just go with the flow, right? Pile 2, let's just go with the flow. I feel like your vision's opening up, Pile 2. Like I was saying in the collective part, if you haven't watched it, you may want to go back to that. But I feel like your vision is opening up. You're going to be gaining a lot of clarity during this new moon in Taurus. You're going to be seeing things a lot more clearly. And as a result, it's going to be purifying your energy. Because there's going to be, as the card says, forgiveness. There's going to be a flow of emotions that's happening. Let's rewind. There's a flow of energy that's taking you through this aspect of your journey, through this new moon. And this flow is taking you, showing you certain things in your life in a new way that's going to give you a release. It's an energetic release. It's an emotional release because you're going to be seeing these things from a different pair of eyes, from a different perspective. And as a result, you'll be letting go of certain things. You'll be forgiving certain people, certain events, or so forth, and letting go of some of the things you've been holding on to that have been creating this heaviness in your heart and impacting how you've been expressing yourself in the world. And so the energies, are really going to be liberating you and really just opening you up. Interesting. Spirit, your guides are going to be with you. You may want to connect with them. Look for the birds around you. They're going to be reminding you to keep your eyes open, your gaze open, and looking forward at your reality instead of being in the mind, assessing, analyzing, etc. You may not know where you're going right now, Pile 2. It's like Spirit has a plan, is what I'm getting. Spirit has a plan because they're releasing all of that energy down there. It's like Spirit's with you and it's just drawing you forward. And so you may not know where you're going because it's kind of like when there's a light behind you. Can you see? Hold on, sorry, give me a second. It's almost like, to some degree, you'll have tunnel vision, but it's only if you use the mind. So if you feel like you don't know, okay, let me rephrase that. If you're using your mind, you may not feel like you know where you're going. You may not think you know where you're going. You're like, where the hell am I going? But follow your third eye and follow the feeling during this time, Pile 2, and stay grounded because it feels like Spirit's taking you because it wants to help relieve some of the pressure that you've been carrying for a long time. And this is your physical body, emotional body, and mental body where you've been carrying a lot of pressure. And so that is shifting. Go with the flow. Inspiration will be coming in for you, Pile 2. There's some, as I was saying, insights coming in. Insights coming in. Change of vision. Opening up of your field. etheric field is what I'm hearing. There's an opening up of your etheric field as a result of you letting go of certain things in the past. You're also going to see how you've been moving in the past because you now have a new perspective. So it's kind of like there's a bit of a review happening for you. And this review is just showing you certain things so you can, how you've been moving in the past, how you've been holding on to certain emotions and mental patterns, and how maybe your perspective wasn't quite on point. But don't worry, pile 2. It's all good because that sun is rising. And as you let go of more of that stuff, of the burden you've been carrying, you're going to see it more clearly, meaning the sun. And so what this is going to do is empower you. It's actually going to help you to change your walk, meaning the way that you're moving in the world. So you're going to feel more empowered, more grounded, more, I'm hearing self-worth. It's impacting your self-worth, and therefore how you work and move and just dance in the world. I'm being drawn here to her nakedness, and it's like, as a result of what's happening or what has happened, I feel like you're going to be opening up yourself more and not being so afraid, not that you're so afraid, but not being afraid to be vulnerable in certain situations because you have greater alignment and you realize that you're strong whether you're vulnerable or not. Vulnerability is just the ability to, is just expressing something that's sensitive to you. But when you do that, knowing full well that it doesn't matter how another responds because you're solid within yourself. And it's okay to have weaknesses. It's part of this experience. So it's a very empowering time for you, pal, too. Very empowering time. So let's see how that looks in the physical reality. What do they need to know, Spirit? What does pile 2 need to know? And what about this new moon in Taurus in their physical experience? How is this impacting their physical experience? Okay, so we have financial constraints, yin and yang, the world, patience. If you see the financial constraints, it's really like this tightening, right? Like you have the door, one door is open, it's just tight. And then you have the world, which is like expansive. The world is your oyster. And then you have the balance of the two, patience. Okay, so you may feel like you may be swinging on the pendulum. Moments of feeling constraint, like nothing's moving, you're lacking certain things such as finances, opportunities, things like that, resources. And then you may swing to the other side of the pendulum, right? That swing. And you may feel really expansive, lots of opportunities, too many opportunities. The world is my oyster, I can't see beyond. And I feel like give yourself time because like a pendulum, it swings back and forth until it finally comes to center. That momentum stops. the alignment is solid. And it stops right in the center. The balance of the yin and the yang. Patience, divine timing. You are meant, pile 2, to do some serious work. And I don't mean the word like serious literally. I mean like very impactful work. Give yourself the time to evolve. Let yourself have this experience. I know we really want to get to the end game, and I feel like we are to some degree at that end game. We totally are. But it's like we want certain manifestations done in a certain way, but that Taurian energy is asking us to, number one, take it step by step, that slow and steady energy, and be stubborn in a way that really just helps us to, know our worth, stay focused, be grounded in the present, and know what it is we want. Because as we stay present in that moment, we're not swinging from, oh my gosh, our resources are confined, and being in our mind. And then to the other end of it is, oh my God, there's way too many possibilities. Where do I go? I have no idea. Being in the moment, everything is clear. Being in the moment is where we are solid. And we're able to make clear decisions. Sorry, I think I went on a tangent there. But anyway, with that 22, because I'm getting really like about just balance within yourself. Give yourself time. You're going through this evolutionary process where you're expanding and you're creating greater balance within yourself. But during this new moon in Taurus, it's like you may be swinging back and forth from feeling restraint to feeling that expansive energy and that unknown. I want you to know you've done the work that you've needed to do. Just allow this process to happen right now, because there's a balancing too of the light and the dark aspects of yourself. So that optimism and that pessimism is actually really coming forth. The shadow and the light aspects of your personality where you've been like really butting heads. Give yourself time, because you're releasing. Your perspective's going to be shifting about your environment, about those opportunities or lack of. And as you shift that energy, what's then happening, look at that, door to romance, appreciation. There's a lot of opportunities. Your heart becomes uncaged, and you'll be able to see this whole life, basically your life, in the moment in a whole different way. And guess what, my friend? Once you do, you just walk through a doorway of a whole different reality. Trust yourself during this process, pile 2, and nurture yourself during this process, because this Taurian energy is really asking you to fill your own cup, fill yourself up. And I feel like it's going to show you where you haven't. And by clearing out that clutter, and it'll let go of that heaviness around your heart and open the door to help you to soar into places and things that really bring you joy and expand those wings. Because you're meant to do great things. Pile 2, but you got to fill your cup up first, because with the 13 I'm getting divine feminine energy, and it's like you got to come back to that being energy. And I feel like the energies coming through for you are really about nurturing oneself and just coming back to you, and allow spirit to show you certain things, because they want to show you certain things. So observer state, receptive state, and opening up and letting go. As I said that, it said 1441. That might be a number for you. So we're going to end with the Crush Your Goals deck and see what final messages Spirit has for you. Spirit, what do you got for pile 2 viewers? Remember that great expectations create great capabilities. If you limit your goals to what you know you can achieve, you are setting the bar way too low. Ray Dalio. Oh my gosh. Love it. And that goes under financial constraints. You know what, pile 2? Maybe you're just not thinking big enough. And you may not know what bigger is. Be patient. Give it time. It's coming. Those ideas, those brilliant ideas, the ways that you want to kind of move in the world, those opportunities are presenting itself. You just don't see it yet, but you will, because you're gaining greater clarity through this new moon. That's just going to change the way that you see things. And then those opportunities, you will see them. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, one more card, please. Be bold. Envision yourself living a life that you love. Oh, you might want to screenshot this one or the last one. Beautiful. And that goes here. Envision yourself living a life that you love. Not that life of constraints, but a world that you love. And that might be why, pile 2, you may not see beyond this moment, you know, or the constraints, or you may feel the unknown around you. It's kind of like maybe because this space, this time right now is for you to envision that time, is letting go of the past and really dream about the life that you truly want. What do you see yourself doing? What's going to really light you up? What's going to uncage that heart and set you free? What's going to make you feel like a kick-ass rock star? You know what I mean? Confidence, soaring. So that's your reading, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful new moon in Taurus. Do like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. So we are going into the energies for this new moon in Taurus for you. How are the energies impacting pile 3 collective, please, Spirit? Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Okay. Similar to pile 2, but not completely the same. Okay, so a couple things coming through. So first off, where do I start? Okay. Number 1, it's like the energies coming in for you are really going to be, they may be, the energies coming in, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time because there's like, slow it down, please, slow it down. All right, I feel like the energies coming in for you, you're going to be really stimulated. That's what it comes down to. Like, there's a lot of information coming in right now for me, and I'm just like, I can't even get my words out because I'm like, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, I'm seeing that, I'm seeing that. And it's like, it's putting you in a state of the mind. So it's emphasizing, well, not emphasizing isn't, well, sure, let's use it. Emphasizing the noise that's around you currently, the clutter that's around you in your physical reality. And the question that's now posed is is this really filling you up? Is it really just expanding your wings and really showcasing you? Or are you just taking in all this stuff of others, of stimulation that's just really doesn't serve you and your authenticity? That's the question that's posed. Because I feel like there's a lot of stimulation that's coming in that's showing you that it's clutter, that it's not really for you. And the thing about like the Taurian energy, they love the senses. And I feel like the senses are really going to be highlighted for you in a way of that it's showing you what really serves you versus what really doesn't. And it feels like for you in your world, it may get a little intense during the new moon or up until the full moon. I think it's full moon in Sagittarius, where those things are just impacting you. Because I feel like a lot of the things that many or the most significant things around you are not supporting you. But that's being transmuted as you see it, as you not address it, but you acknowledge it is the right word. Because it's an impacting how you move in the world, how you move forward in the world. And if all of your energy is towards all of these things that are stimulating you, like YouTube, like the news, like people, like it's just certain things that just don't serve you, then what then happens is your energy, your fire, your chi is now distributed already in like all of these different directions. So you can't really walk through the door and really live the life that you really want to live and spread your wings, really. So that comes down to another point of boundaries for you, Pile 2. Boundaries will be emphasized. It's one of the major keys for you during this point, Pile 3. And really just honoring your own space. And yes, to some degree, just putting your foot down when you need to. Because I feel like you've molded a lot to what other people need and easily going towards just different directions that just give you perhaps maybe a little bit of a cheap thrill. As I said that, it was 444. Or, you know, bring some sort of dopamine release. But it really doesn't, because instead it just ends up adding more noise, drugs you in a way that just numbs you out or puts you down. And so what they're really asking from you, or what these energies are really helping you to do, is get beyond that. The energies are coming in and it's helping with the lower 3 chakras, okay, specifically the root chakra, the solar plexus as well. So those two are being clarified and connected to a greater degree to help you to really just be disciplined, is what I'm getting. Interesting. Didn't see that one coming. All right. Emotionally, it feels like there may be some heaviness happening during this time, but it's because it's releasing some of the stuff that you've been holding on to, Pile 3. There's some there's like some emotions, heavy emotions that you've been carrying that it may be coming up to be addressed. And I feel like it may have to do with others and how you interact with others in the world. And you may be feeling that more closer to that full moon. Oh, we're getting back to, I think one of the major themes then is to get back to individuality and getting back to what we need as individuals, and therefore impacting the collective on a grander level. Interesting. Okay. So, but for you, I feel like for you, Pile 3, that's one of the major things as well. It's just getting back to, what do I need today? What does my physical vessel need today? What's going to light my heart up and open my eyes and make me want to be on this earth today? Instead of this stimulation around you, this randomness, coming back to a point of really having this co-creative experience of, okay, this is what I want to experience, and moving forth in that direction. This is really helping you to create a firmer foundation, these energies. Okay, so let's move on and let's look at the physical reality for pile 3, please, Spirit. What do they need to know about their physical reality? How is their reality going to show up? Tell us what they need to know. Okay. So let's start with the Angel of Balance card. You got the Angel of Balance here. Focus is key for you, pile 3. I feel like it won't be so busy and crazy for you, pile 3, because the emphasis is really on the focus. And sometimes it's hard to just, let me rephrase that, please. You may have things around you that's happening, but you're being requested to focus on the things that are in front of you now. Those things that you desire and fill you up. Your inner child will be wanting to come out and play. Take that opportunity to do so. That heart wants to come up. Look, you got lots of 4s here. You got 44, you got 4, you got a 48. Interesting. Okay. 51, 6. Okay. 51. 48 plus 3, 51, which is a 6. Community, family, relationships. Okay. So, yeah, during this time of this new moon, pile 3, that inner child is going to want to come out and play. Use it. Play with it. Him or her. It's time to play a little bit. And more so in your reality, in those things that kind of that fill you up, versus those quick stimulation. It's time to clear out the clutter if you have not. Because I feel like the energies are just really opening up, like your reality, your life is going to open up. And it's about the simple things. That is key for you. You may not find big things happening around you right now, pile 3, but that's okay, because the focus for you is on the simple things. It's on the little things, like, oh my gosh, the sun is out today. It's beautiful. Okay, oh, you know, I feel like going to the lake today, so I'm going to just sit by the lake and maybe write or sing a song or whatnot. It's about the simple things. Because the clearing out of the clutter is going to really help you to really be present. And so the next step after that is seeing the simple things in the moment, so we don't run back into our heads. And then the next step, you'll find that those manifestations, those simple things, will become bigger things and bigger things as your energy starts to rise. There's a transformation that's happening through your mind. Notice there's a butterfly here and you got a butterfly here. And like I was referring over here about the mind and all the stimulation that's happening, there's going to be a shift of perspective that happens for you, pile 3. But if you haven't already cleared out the clutter, it's time to do so, because by releasing some of those binds, is that the right word? So those things that have tied you down, that noise that's around you, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, that was all just noise. I see so much more, like my whole reality is opened up. But for now, it's about just really enjoying the simple things. Blossoming abundance. This is just a time for you, pile 3, of just kind of taking it step by step. For some of you, you may have a little bit of noise around you, clutter, like just some things that are happening around you. The key for you is to stay focused and in the present moment. I said that already. I think I'm done. And really look out for things, pile 3, that really light you up. Because this is all helping you to just really get back into the heart and get out of the mind and create a greater balance between the heart and the mind. You've been more so in the mind state, but there's like this expansion that's happening through the heart that needs to occur. But in order to do so, it's like that mind needs to shut down, not shut down, it needs to be clarified a little bit. And I feel like this Taurus energy is helping you. Walk in nature, pile 3, because I feel like that's part of the purification process for you if you can. That's really, really going to help you out, especially if you feel like a lot of headaches, or if you feel like that mind is acting up, or you're just like a little discombobulated. Walk out in nature, be by the water if you can, or just focus on one thing at a time. And one question that's being posed is, does this fill you up? This task that you're doing today, right now, in this moment, does it fill you up? As I do, you know, as I am watching the news, is this filling me up? And your mind might act up and be like, well, this is why I do it, and blah, 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 and rationalize it. Go back to the heart and ask it if it's the truth. Your heart will show you the way. And I feel like as you connect more deeply to the heart, there's something more to see. It's going to really ignite and really show you the way. Oh, as I said that, 1444, baby, 1444. Silence, quiet is key with the snow. If you did not watch the collective part of this reading, you may want to. Let's end this reading with some final messages from Spirit to pile 3 collective, please, Spirit. What final messages? You are enough just as you are, Meghan Markle. Yes, you are. Some of it is procrastination, my friend. Some of it is procrastination. And this, when you read this card, what comes up in you? That's that solar plexus energy that's being released. There's going to be shifts in that, pile 3. I really feel it with this Taurus energy. It's really opening up that solar plexus for you. One more, please. I know how it looks, but just start. Nothing is insurmountable. And this is Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I think this comes down to that procrastination card too. It's like there may be some things that you want to do and you just don't know how to, and that's where it's like just take it step by step. And it's like clearing out that clutter and just being in that present moment, I feel will give you the clarity that you need to really focus on certain things that you want to focus on in order to move forward. This energy is really supportive for that change for you, pile 3, and I feel like this is your time of change, and it's a matter of just taking it step by step. You've got this. All right, that is the end of your message. Thank you for watching. Yeah, and do give it a like if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again. Have a great new moon in Taurus. Bye.